I used to think my life was over when my family was taken from me during the war. I became a ghost wandering the Arizona desert, hunting for gold to bury my grief. But the universe had a sick sense of humor. The Union cavalry trapped me, demanding I fight their battles, but I broke free into the canyon. As bullets punched the dust around my boots, I sprinted straight into a hidden cave to hide. Inside the dark cave, a strange, glowing figure materialized out of nowhere, whispering a bizarre language. He drew a blade, but I took him down first, grabbing his gold medallion as he breathed his last. The moment I repeated his final words, the air violently ripped apart, and everything turned completely white. My body felt like it was breaking down into raw energy before crashing onto blistering red sand. I woke up under a blinding sun, gasping for air, surrounded by endless miles of crimson desert. Every time I tried to take a single step forward, I launched into the sky like a rocket. My muscles and bones, forged under Earth's heavy gravity, turned me into a literal superhero on this strange planet. I couldn't even walk straight, tumbling over dunes while trying to control my terrifying new strength. Suddenly, a massive nesting ground appeared, filled with giant, multi-legged creatures hatching from massive eggs. Before I could process the sight, a towering, 9-foot-tall green alien with 4 arms pointed a rifle at my face. His name was Tars Tarkas, a brutal warrior chief who looked at me like I was a stray puppy. To escape his blade, I gathered my strength and leaped clear over his massive war party, stunning them all. They threw me into a dark cage, forcing me to drink a glowing liquid that burned my throat. Suddenly, the chaotic noise around me cleared, and I realized I could actually understand their alien tongue. They paired me up with a fiercely loyal, oversized lizard dog creature named Woola to keep me from running. No matter how fast or how far I jumped across the dunes, the beast kept right on my heels. That's when the sky literally exploded above us as massive, bird-like flying battleships clashed in a storm of fire. A beautiful woman in royal armor was fighting for her life on the deck of a burning ship. It was Dija, a brilliant princess fleeing a forced marriage to a tyrant who wanted to crush her kingdom. When her enemies threw her off the vessel into the sky, I knew I couldn't just stand there. I launched myself through the smoke, catching her midair before crashing into the dust and drawing my earth sword. The green alien horde watched in absolute awe as I cut down her attackers with unmatched speed. The princess realized my insane strength could save her dying world, which she called Barsum. She promised that if I helped her reach a sacred temple, she would show me how to return home. A gentle green alien named Sola risked her life to help us sneak out of camp at midnight. Together, we rode massive, multi-legged beasts across the shifting sands, running blind into the dark Martian night. We arrived at a massive, crumbling sanctuary hidden deep inside the walls of a grand, ancient riverbed. Inside, a floating holographic map of the entire solar system hung to life, projecting Earth right before my eyes. Djad deciphered the cosmic data, revealing that the medallion operated on a mysterious 9th ray of pure light. But our breakthrough was shattered when an army of bloodthirsty warhound raiders completely surrounded the canyon walls. I told Djad and Sola to run for the river, while I stood alone against 1,000 shouting warriors. The ghosts of my past flashed before my eyes as I charged headfirst into the chaotic sea of blades. I fought like a man possessed, unleashing all my buried rage, painting the red desert sands with enemy blood. When the smoke finally cleared, I was standing atop a massive mound of fallen foes, barely holding on to life. But my sacrifice was in vain because the villainous flying navy descended from the clouds and captured us anyway. To save my life, Djaz surrendered, agreeing to marry her cruel enemy to spare what was left of her people. I was thrown into a dark cell, broken and defeated, until a shape-shifting immortal stepped out of the shadows. He mocked me, revealing that his secret cult had been pulling the strings of this world's wars for centuries. They fed on the slow death of planets, and Earth was next on their list after Mars was ruined. Using my sheer weight against the structural chains, I broke free, desperate to stop their apocalyptic wedding. I rushed back to the Green Alien tribe for help, but found my friend Tars Tarkas locked in chains. A brutal new tyrant had taken over the clan, condemning us all to face execution in the gladiatorial arena. They threw us into a massive coliseum as thousands of bloodthirsty aliens roared for our heads from the stands. Massive iron gates groaned open, and 2 colossal, 4-armed blind white apes lunged directly at us. The first beast slammed me into the dust, its razor-sharp claws narrowly missing my throat. As I scrambled back, I used the arena walls to launch myself over its head, slicing deep into its thick neck. With a final, desperate strike, I took down the second monster, standing victorious as the entire arena fell completely silent. I raised my blade and challenged the tyrant chief, taking his head and claiming leadership of the tribe. I rallied the entire Green Army, convincing them to fight alongside humans for the first time in history. We boarded a fleet of captured airships, racing against the clock to crash the royal wedding in the clouds. We stormed the grand city of Helium just as the forced wedding ceremony reached its final, tragic moment. the sky filled with roaring engines and clashing swords as our united army tore to the tyrant's guard. I dropped from the heavens straight onto the palace deck, drawing my sword to face the enemy leader. Our blades clashed in a furious duel as the floating city rocked violently beneath our boots. With a quick, decisive strike, I disarmed the tyrant and sent him plunging into the burning wreckage below. The war was finally over, the people cheered, and I realized I had found a home worth fighting for. That night, Dija and I looked out over the peaceful city, ready to start a brand new life together. I took the golden medallion and threw it far out into the dark abyss, vowing never to return to Earth. But as I slept, a hidden immortal ambushed me, grabbing the relic and forcibly chanting the cosmic return spell. The world spun violently out of control as my soul was ripped completely out of my new body. I woke up screaming back in that dusty Arizona cave, staring down at my weak, ordinary human hands. I was a millionaire on Earth, but a complete beggar my soul, trapped on the wrong planet. For 10 long years, I pretended to be an eccentric rich man while secretly hunting for another alien medallion. I knew the Immortals were watching my every move, waiting for me to slip up so they could finish me. So I faked my own sudden death, leaving my locked tomb and personal journal to my sharp young nephew. I knew the secret watcher would come to inspect my earthly corpse to make sure I was gone. Just as expected, the rogue immortal stepped into my vault, believing he had finally won the long game. But I wasn't dead. I jumped out from the shadows, pointing a loaded pistol straight at his chest. I smiled, thanked him for bringing me the keys to my true kingdom, and pulled the trigger without hesitation. I took his glowing medallion, lay back down in my coffin, and whispered the ancient words one last time. My spirit soared back across the stars, ready to reclaim my crown and protect the woman I love. But the real question is, what happens to Earth now that the Immortals know I'm coming back for them?